time, and full of brilliant people and unusual people and things kind of emerging. Yes, I often, even though, you know, I have to say I was born to privilege, and I'm always aware of that. There are times where I go like, this is insane. I say in the book, you know, that some of these dinners, particularly in New York at Ira Gallant's house, where Mike Nichols would bring Jackie Onassis and Verushka would be there, were like those dinners that you put together in fantasy where you say, you know, I'd like Winston Churchill and Liz Taylor to be at the table. But they truly were. They were like great, wonderful moments. And I'm still lucky enough to have those moments and to be part of, I think, the best years ever.
Amazing.
I mean, Victorian times must have been great, and the turn of the century must have been fabulous, but nothing's ever been better than the way we've lived, Mitch.
No, it was
Let's
insane.
face it.
We're here.
And in fact, we've survived, yeah.
And Robert and Bob, as, you know, seeing similarities in them. Is it something that you were thinking of, you were aware of as it was happening, or only when you sat down for the book, or, because they were wildly different men. I mean, the little I know of two of them,
but they're all gorgeous.
Similar. Yeah,
I love gorgeous men. That's why I'm talking to you on stage. Yeah, they're just lovely. And I love gorgeous women too, but there's nothing to top a gorgeous man. And I had one as a father, and you know, it's true, you go on looking for them. And finding them, if you're lucky, throughout your life. And I've been really lucky to have been with some spectacular men, really interesting types.
Diane. Yes, historically, yeah. For sure. And what's beautiful in the book is the kind of surprise and romance and, you know, the different world that he exposed you to, apart from, you know, kind of the normal path of life, you know, the wrecking ball of Bob, you know, the kind of spectacular, you know, man that he was. It felt, at least in the reading of it, surprising and romantic and you know, at that point, after having been in a relationship with Jack, you were unprepared almost for him, you know, for that to happen. At least that's the way it read.
Yeah, Bob came along as a big surprise, and he was a wonderful sculptor, but also a very interesting individual. And some people who've read the book say, well, you know, finally you met somebody safe, but I wouldn't really describe Bob as the safest either. He was very unique. He was Mexican. He had a fantastically evolved, wouldn't you say? He was very evolved. Elegant, yeah. He was very elegant, but he also had a kind of mad side. He threw knives. You know, he was completely unpredictable, but always extremely refined and thoughtful and graceful, just unique.
And an artist.
And a great artist.
Yeah, I remember the first time.
Very funny.
You walk away and all that, which is part of it. But what is it? Do you think it's a you know, cultural, familial gift, or is something you've had to learn? Because I mean, it's not. Some people just deny that the thing is happening, and then they just soldier on and. But you don't do that. I mean, you called me when my mother was you know, killed in a car accident because your mother had been, and you were sobbing on the phone, and it was incredibly helpful to me. But you know, you were feeling the pain almost as if I was. And then you move through these things. I mean, you endure.
That's, I think, why I'm so lucky to be an actress, because I kind of can channel these things. And, you know, life goes on, but we do suffer these wounds, and we have to live with these things, and we have to live with them at all times. There'll be times where, you know, you'll suffer more than others over these things, but they become part of you. You contain all of these issues, all of these moments, all of these arrows. And so you have to kind of absorb them. They become part of you. You become part of them. And the most we can do for each other, basically, isn't it, is to open our hearts and share our pain and our joy, and that's part of, you know. And she's kind of. She'd be a wish list person, so I'm very excited about that. I hope it works. I can't tell.
Okay, later. Or not.
I'll whisper in your ear.
And which leads me to, and then we can go to questions. It leads me to directing, because you were one of the first. You know, there was Lee Grant, and there have been, you know, actresses as directors, but it's something you were really gifted at. I thought both movies were beautiful. And having done it once myself, you know, there's good and bad to it. But as someone who, you know, loves to read and adapt, and you know, the legacy of it, is this something you would pursue? Or,
I'd love to make another movie. The truth is, though, that the two movies I've made, I've actually made three, but two that really counted, Bastard Out of Carolina and Agnes Brown. Both had such a difficult time getting birthed that I'd love to make a movie with a really good producer who protected me, because on both movies I've had to fight tooth and nail to get what I wanted. Not that Jim Sheridan wasn't a good producer, but he's a better director. And
like John Foreman.
Yeah, like John Foreman, someone who, fantastic actor, lovely man, generous and funny and jolly, and I was always impressed with Raoul. I mean, Raoul came in to the studio and started playing with the kids first thing in the morning. You know, I was looking for my coffee. He was a very joyous, very gregarious, very happy person. And he loved singing opera for them. He became sick on the second Addams Family and Addams Family Values. And he never missed a day's work. We had tango lessons. He never complained. And he died shortly after he finished that movie. But he was really a fantastic person. Particularly kind of turn of the century breastfeeders. Is that what they're called, breastfeeders?
Or bodice rippers.
Bodice rippers. I'd like to write a bodice ripper. Something better than that awful gray stuff.
Anjelica wrote me letters